Well, we're going to start week 5's projects. These are the last single entity projects. In other words, they're not part of a larger project. Starting week 6, where you go, we'll be starting the tool post project, where we're going to make about a dozen parts that are all going to be part of an assembly. So this is just your last week of general sketching and creating single entities, and then putting them on the PDF sheets. And we're going to talk about the dimensioning today. We're going to start moving into dimensioning. So there's our project. This is 5.1. I'm sliding it over next door. Go into my projects. Go into new. Vault project. Next. Week 5. Exercise 1. Finish. And the reason it said that I already had an object with that name is because I started a piece before and stopped my recording because it wasn't going well. And I'll just be honest with you, it wasn't going well. Okay. Now it won't let me name it the same, so I'm going to have to do add something to it. So I'm going to just add an underscore. You can't save over the top of projects, and it doesn't exist. Create it and apply, and there we go. It highlights it, and we're done. Excuse me. I'm going to, oops, not open, excuse me. Going to go new. And again, I talked earlier about how I've gone into my software at home. This is in my Inventor software at home, and I'll do a little tutorial on this too. And I've inserted the metric IDW and DWG files, and I put AAA in front of them so they'll be at the top of the list. And I also took the standard metric and just made a copy of it. I actually have the standard metric down here, but I made a copy of it and then put AAA in front of it, so it would just be in the front, and that's the assembly, and this is the part here. So anyway, that's what I've been doing just to make my life a little easier at home. So we're going to take our standard millimeter part, and then this is a metric part, and we'll get going in here. I'm going to look at this object, and I'm going to build this up from the bottom up. Okay, so I'm going to build this rectangle first, and we're going to come up off of that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to make a rectangle here. I'm just going to come right off my center point here, and I have a total of 96. The 13 will be the first one that I'll enter. 96, tab, and 64. Okay, and there's my rectangle. Right click, done. Right, oh, and I'm not done. Actually, I'm not done. I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done. I want to do a little more geometry in here while I can. So I'm going to find my midpoint here. Drop in a circle. I believe that circle is a radius of 8, which would be a diameter of 16. Okay, and then I'm going to hit escape. Go up to my line command. Pick this point here. Come to this point here. Hit escape. I have escape on my thumb button of my mouse, and I can hit it without having to go back to the keyboard all the time, and which I really like. Okay, I'm going to do a little trimming while we're here. Just trim this out and that out, and I'm going to dimension from here to here, and I'm going to put in 20, I believe is the right amount. And then one of the things I might do here too, just for while I'm here, is to pull this out and do a dimension here from the center to the corner. Okay, and I'm going to look at this dimension here, and that's D1. Okay, so if I take this and make this D to D1, okay, and go, oh, and what did I do wrong? I needed to make that D1 divide by 2. Okay, D1 divide by 2. Now, if I make this 100, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Okay, how are we going to do this here? Oh, man. Just when I think I'm getting good at this. Okay. So I'm going to undo this. Actually, I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to redimension this. So I'm going to go from this side to that side. Okay. And that is now D5. So I make this D5. There you go. And then when I take this and change this to 100, that will stay centered. Okay, that will stay centered. So let's go back to the 64, and it's just something you can do. You don't have to do it, but later on it'll come and it'll pay off. It really way out. Parametric will pay off later on when you're doing bigger projects. Okay, right click, finish sketch. Right click, or excuse me, go up to extrude. I believe our distance is 16. Okay, and I'm going to come over here and zoom into my project just a little bit bigger to make sure that it is 16. And it is. That's great. Okay. So I'm going to look at the different parts that I have. So the next part that I'm going to build is this little rectangle piece up here. This little piece right here. This the little cube with the hole through it. Okay. I'm going to build that, and I'm going to build it from the ground up. Okay. I'm going to use this as my base. So I'm going to go right click, new sketch, pick that face. Okay. Come and do my rectangle, pick a point on the edge, go like that. Okay, I know I'm looking at my drawing, my width is 40, so the 32 is highlighted, so I'm going to put the 40 in there, hit my tab, and I believe the other distance on this is 42. Okay, there we go. And escape, and right click, and finish sketch, and extrude, pick that portion of that. Okay, my height on this is 44 less 16. So I just want to go in front of the 16, type in 44, and then a minus sign, and that should give me my height. Okay, and then I'm going to come around this side here. Okay, and I'm going to go right click, new sketch, pick this face right there, do a line, move from that corner there to that corner there. Okay, escape, right click, finish sketch, go up to my extrude, pick that point. I'm going to change directions on my extrusion, and I'm going to give it a distance, and I believe that distance is 12. Okay. And then while we're here, right click, new sketch. Okay. And I can't make this circle and this little wall at the same time because one's an extrusion and one is a cut. So you have to do this two different operations. That's in the midpoint, I'm pretty darn sure. Okay, and I have a diameter, I have a radius of 12, so it's a diameter 24. Okay, right click, finish sketch, and in this case I can just go ahead and grab this whole thing. I'm going to go to my cut, I'm going to go all, and I don't care that the circle's above it. I don't have to trim it because I'm just using it as to remove that and go okay. So to back up and show you what again, I just made that circle, and I didn't bother to trim it off. There was no reason to trim it off, and then I just extruded it and did a cut. Okay. Now here we go. Now, and for this case here, let me see. How am I going to do this? I might need some more geometry on this. I'm going to give this a shot. I may have to pause this and figure this out. So give me a second here, okay? So what I need to do is right click, new sketch, pick this point right here, okay? And I need this geometry over here, and I'm not sure if I can project that geometry up or not. I did. There I did. So I went and projected that geometry and made that little point for me, which is exactly what I needed, okay? So I'm going to draw a line from that point over here, and I'm going to go the radius of this arc that's there, which is 48. Okay, and escape. I'm going to pick that line and go up here and go to construction. Great. So now I can take my circle, come find the endpoint there, and drag it right out to that point. There is my circle that I need. Okay. Now I should be able to grab the geometry off of here and go straight up, and I believe my height there is 64 minus 16. So let's go 64 minus 16. Okay, and there it is, and then I'm going to go over until it runs into that tangent right there. Okay, I really like this. Right click, okay, finish sketch. Oh, my bad. I got to go back in and right click, edit sketch. Forgot to trim. Okay, there we go. And there we go. There we go. Now, I'm thinking, before I get out of here, I'm thinking that I need to actually make that line there not a construction line. Did I just get rid of that line? I think I just trimmed that away. So escape. So I'm going to pick my line here, and I'm construction it. And I think I'm just going, while I'm here, I'm just going to go down here and extend it just for fun. There we go. Is it going to let me extend? Maybe not. Oh, I can't because I have a distance on it. So I need to get rid of this distance. So now I can extend it. Okay, there she goes. So now I have that whole area defined by that line. Okay, now I can right click, done, right click, finish sketch, extrude. Make sure to pick both points, both parts, and watch this one. I'm going to go 2, and I'm going to pick this face. 2 is kind of a fun thing to use once in a while. And I believe that's it. That was pretty darn skippy quick, okay? So I think that's great. And I will call that good for right now, and we'll do some dimensioning here a little bit later today, okay?